Hey everybody, it's Eddie Joe on crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? So, tonight's poll question. This poll question, I was thinking about it for a while. And then I saw some news today and I thought this is probably a really good poll question for tonight. The poll question is, do you think Doge hodlers are being strung along by that guy, Muskrat? The answers are yes, no, maybe, and other. What's going on, AC Power? What's good, Hootanic? And if you put other, you had better give me a reason down below. I want to know what the other is. Dying to know. So yeah, D Tamboso, what's good? So there's a lot of news going on tonight. Let's see if we can actually get through the news before we start our conversations. Again, actually, you know what? I'll say the question, the poll question, a little bit later on. Again, because not everybody's here yet. But meme coin ETFs raising eyebrows amid regulatory uncertainty. Now, I have to say that there is regulatory uncertainty, right? We're talking about like meme coins like Trump, Doge, Bonk, Melania. We're talking about even meme coins with up to 2x leverage. What? Is that Charistier? Okay, you're gonna have to tell me how to pronounce that one. Give it to me phonetically because I hate mispronouncing people's names. But welcome. So that does actually lay out a problem. Good evening, Paula. It actually does lay out a problem, right? When you start looking at, those kind of meme coins, getting ETFs. And again, I don't know that I can express this enough, that I could say it enough. I do have a deep issue with regard to single digital asset ETFs. I think they're going to wind up being short-lived, right? And the reason why is because I can buy your ETF or I can go buy the asset myself. Rather go buy the asset myself. Now, if you're going to offer me, an ETF that's got a bucket of digital assets, the same way that most regular ETFs have a bucket of stocks, I'm with it. I could possibly be with it because that means somebody's monitoring that. You're paying attention to what's going on in the market and you kind of have your finger on the pulse. Somebody's doing the research on it. You're running numbers against it. You're doing all these things to keep on top of it. But a single coin ETF, hell I need with that, right? What do I need with that? Alley boy, what's going on, man? And what's going on? The man who loves. So yeah, Rick Ritchie, what's going on, crazy man? But yeah, it is crazy. I mean, so tonight's question for everybody is, do you think Doge hodlers are being strung along by that guy? You should know what guy we're talking about if we're talking about Doge. So right now we've got yes, no, maybe, and other. Like I said, if you have other as your answer, please tell us why you think it's other down below. That would be greatly appreciated. Now, ETFs are trying to control through liquidity. I don't know that they're trying to control as much as they're just trying to get into the game, because every time you do something crazy, your company name gets out there, right? So, I mean, and also, how are you going to control, a coin that is not finite? You know what I mean? So I don't think it's that. I understand where you're coming from, though, right? So I can totally get that perspective. The person asking the question is biased. No, I'm not. Actually, I'm not. I had bought into Doge eons ago. Doge was the coin that my son told me to get. Before Doge was Doge, my son was like, yo, we need to get some Doge. So yeah, nah, I'm not biased. I'm actually looking at the facts. And we'll have that conversation, sir. We shall have that conversation. Nah, 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 nah. No, I will not send you to the corner for that one because that's an honest perspective. Binance faces new money laundering, I guess, investigations, or at least one from France. They think that they've been laundering some dough. Bitwise files. So back to the question. Bitwise files for Dogecoin ETF. Hello to Japan. My man Ali Boy is over in Japan. So you sit there and you look at that and you're kind of like, a Doge ETF. Again, what's the value of a single asset ETF? I just don't see any value. I don't see any value. Once you had Bitcoin come out, right, as an ETF, that got the whole market abuzz, right? Cool. Not a problem with that. Then you had a little bit of Ethereum sprinkled in. And then you had a couple of companies come out with or try to file for their Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Okay, so that's 2 in 1. Okay, all right. I see you. But then I'm just kind of like, really? No, you just want your name out there. You know that would create buzz. You really don't care if you get approved or not. Probably will be approved with the current regime. But you probably don't care because the news got it already. The news happened. You got the benefit already. You get a second dip if you get the yes. Okay. Let's see. What did I miss? Paul says, I don't see value in it either. It makes no sense since most of the liquidity is in a few wallets. Specifically for Doge or for memes in general? I was going to ask about that, but seriously, Trump is one of them. Like, really? So I'm just like, So here is a good reason to have somebody start an ETF, especially for a coin like a political coin. Because now it's not readily available as to who bought in if I go through an ETF. Do you see where that's going? So if that ETF gets approved, it's not like on blockchain where you can actually see every single wallet and eventually somebody's going to find out who that wallet belongs to, right? Instead, I can just dump a whole lot of money into a nameless, faceless account or a trust, and it goes and buys some ETFs. Oh, very interesting how that could work. Very interesting how that could work. So yeah, just saying. And you have the option of pulling out, getting your money back, but you're only going to get back the value of that particular underlying asset, right? But it still opens up another avenue that also kind of obfuscates traceability. Problem. I mean, I know I'm stating the obvious, but yeah, that's a problem for me. That really is a problem for me. So, a few wallets holding Doge. I don't think it's just a few wallets holding Doge. I think there are a lot of people around the world that are holding Doge. There's always going to be a few wallets that hold more than others, but there are a lot of people around the world holding Doge because they're holding on. They're clutching on to that whole, that dude is going to do something with us. Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. It's a little bit further down. So then you've got South Dakota. Wow. My English today. South Dakota and Kentucky plan Bitcoin reserves, adding to the list of United states that are looking to create those kinds of reserves. Skippy was good. Then you've got X partnering with Visa for their digital wallet. That's part of it. What's next? Ubisoft introduces NFT avatars for the Sandbox game. Ubisoft releases Ethereum-based NFT avatars. And for what? From Assassin's Creed. That's from where? That's actually pretty cool. Assassin's Creed has a huge following. Huge following. And so for us, I mean, that's actually pretty cool. Then you've got an international money laundering operation, about $100 million money laundering operation that was basically shut down. It's money laundering as a service. And not just money laundering, it was actually, handling transactions between different parties. Allegedly. Wow. That's interesting. That's some big boy stuff right there. Sonic founder Andre Cronje, and it could be Cronje, but I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I hate mispronouncing his name. Really cool dude, very really from what I understand, and really really smart. And he got out there and he was like, "Yeah, the SEC had pressured me for like years, not a little while, but for years." Again, I want you to take a look at who hired Jay Clayton. You should do that. You should definitely do that. I forgot about the Trump coin until now. Yeah, see, but we'll get there. Just hold on. It's on chain through the Edinburgh Decentralization Index. But not the person. All right, so even if it was, I could buy into an ETF and not need to disclose that it was me. I can have a trust buy into the ETF. Done. Nobody knows nothing. Just saying. It happens all the time. All the time. You have Ripple expanding with money transmitter licenses in the two most difficult states to get those licenses in, and that would be Texas and New York. It's done. Ripple is off to the races. Ripple is off to the freaking races. Dead serious. That's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. That's a big step. Hold it. Anyway, do it sometime. The man who loves. You got to tell me what that means. Maybe I missed something. I don't know what I missed. So you got to let me know. Tonight's poll question again is, do you think Doge hodlers are being strung along by that guy? I call him Muskrat. Huh? I would only buy assets where the table is not tilted. Paul, we'll get to that in a minute. Excuse me. I just want to rifle through the news. I know there's a lot of stuff that people want to talk about, but I want to rifle through the news so that when you guys hit me with your questions, suggestions, all that stuff, you have, a case in point to actually discuss. What's the next one? I'll save that one because it's a good one. EU issues full MiCA licenses, their regulatory licenses to 4 big exchanges, including Crypto.com and OKX. That's big. It's big, because imagine what those exchanges have to do to get those licenses. Can you feel the pressure? Okay, I was just wondering. I just wanted to know. Coinbase enters Argentina. They got licensed. Ripple lawsuit speculation grows after SEC website changes. You want to know how it changed? They removed the Ripple lawsuit. So Ripple really could be about to just explode. Licensed in New York, licensed in Texas. That would be bigger than just a little big. Just saying. Just putting that out there for you. UK weighs selling $6.27 billion worth of Bitcoin stash. Why? Apparently they have bills. Just saying. I'm just putting it out there for you. Interesting, though. Interesting. I mean, you got $6.27 billion worth of Bitcoin that you've got, however you got, and you're going to sell now? That doesn't even make sense to me. It doesn't even make sense to me, because I don't know that there's a law in the UK that says they have to, the way they did in that municipality in Germany. They literally had to do it by a law. Who knew? Trust me, they weren't happy. So the man who loves was saying, I was asking you if you ever charted Doge Bitcoin, because it's quite interesting as a chart. I did way back in the day for the sake of doing it, but I don't bother to chart things that I'm not going to do. So that pair is not something I'm going to do. So I did it back in the day when I was mucking around, learning how to chart and all that good stuff. It's interesting in a way, but you don't even have to. There's a site out there that will chart for you. Hold on. Do I have the site? Wallet Investor has a page, Cryptocurrency Compares, and you could hit that site and actually go compare coins and stuff like that. That's the first step. I know that you're talking about actually charting, drawing the lines and all that good stuff, but that compare for most people is going to get you there. It'll get you to where you thought you wanted to be. Totally get it. Oh, send something back for Stitch. Who is not going to come visit us tonight because my daughter's home. And when she's home, that's where he sleeps. Because I'm nobody when she's home. Let's see. Did I miss anything over there? Did I miss anything over here? Yo, my man Hom's house is in his house. And let's go on. I have 2 more points. Well, 3. UK waste. I told you about that. It's down to 2. Jupiter overtakes Radium in Solana TVL rankings, making it the second hottest protocol on Solana. Because, they did that airdrop thing. So, yeah, big. But I was just looking at somebody's note to somebody else. It was very interesting. Let's go back up a little bit. Move token surges amid DOGE, or Department of Governmental Efficiency, rumors, and WLFI purchase. World Liberty Financial Investments purchase some Move token. And then supposedly Move had a meeting with that guy. And so I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, so how long has Doge been around? And he's talking to Move? I mean, really? So like I said, tonight's question: do you think that Doge hodlers are being strung along by that guy? I mean, every time something big comes up, Doge is never in the mix. It's always just a little maybe. Never really happens. I mean, at this point, I don't think anything's going to happen. I think everybody will just be shocked. Everybody would just be shocked. So if you're still holding Doge, maybe you'll make some money. But if you're holding on to Doge, let me put it like this: Doge gets used around the world. There's a reason why it's in that top area, but it gets used around the world and it gets hodled around the world. If you're holding on to Doge, in my humble opinion, if you're holding on to Doge in the hopes that one day that dude is going to do something with it, I'm hoping you're holding on for some other reason. When was the last time you heard about Doge doing a deal? Coach Kevin, what's going on? When was the last time? AC Power. When was the last time? You've heard of Doge being in the news, but when was the last time you heard of Doge doing a deal? I mean, even Shiba Inu has done deals. Restaurant chain, metaverse stuff. Like, Shiba Inu has done some stuff. They have a whole ecosystem. They've got a whole ecosystem, and it's not small. They've got metaverse stuff going on. They're doing their thing. When was the last time you heard anything about Doge? I can't remember the last time I heard about a Doge deal. An external deal. Not something that they did internally. And what have they done internally? What have they done? I'll wait. I should get that spot right there. Nothing? Nobody? I've been waiting for the elusive buck. And you cracked me up. So yeah, I mean, I think they're being led on. Because like I said, supposedly he met with Move. You meet with Move and you don't meet with anybody from Doge, but Doge this, Doge that. You had a Doge dog in the car. You had somebody put up a Doge logo in the offices of the DOGE, which was not supposed to be a government organization, by the way. It was not supposed to be. At the last minute, it became one. It was supposed to be an external organization. Ha. Yeah, that news dropped. So yeah, I mean, and then Bitwise with the whole, we're going to come out with a Doge ETF. Because it's hard getting your own Doge. You mean to tell me they didn't do that because they just wanted their name in the news? No, they would never do anything like that. Not at all. Hype? No. That's a serious investment firm. They would never do something like that. But here's the thing, though. A lot of people have been talking about a Doge ETF. Oh, there should be a Doge ETF. I was always like, why? Why? Yeah, I'm not talking about Hosky. I don't even care. He hasn't done anything like this. I don't care about Hosky. He's never done stuff like that. He's a weird dude, in my humble opinion, but he's smart as hell and clearly means well. To do what he's done, to do what his team has been able to accomplish. And I don't agree with him all the time, but yo, that's what's up. That's what's up. But when I look at Doge, I'm like, come on now. Come on now. How is he not manipulating the people that are holding Doge? How is he not? And here's the thing. Can't say anything about him manipulating this market. If Doge was a stock, now we have a problem. But remember, somebody brought him in on that too for doing something on the stock side. Didn't stick. Gee, I wonder why. But yeah, it didn't stick. So I'm kind of like, yeah. So I do think that, it could be a problem. It could really be a problem, right? But that's not even the biggest news of the day. And, Hutanik, I know you want to have that conversation. It's not a big conversation for tonight. Tomorrow it'll be a big conversation. But right now, it means nothing. It's not going to move markets. It's not going to affect my bag. Tomorrow it might, maybe, possibly. He's referring to the hard fork that's going to happen for Cardano. Rick Ritchie, I sold my Doge when you said you would trade it for XLM. I like Stellar. I love Stellar, actually. I mean, they just keep going on about their business, just doing their thing, steadily just doing their thing, right? And I kind of like that. They don't get too big over, they don't get in front of their skis. They just trudge along doing their thing, trying to make the right moves, they're trying to figure out their way. Staying under the radar so they don't get hammered. So Stellar didn't get hammered. Ripple did. Just saying. So yeah, the reason why I got rid of Doge is because I was up a lot. I was up a lot on Doge and I just felt, you know what? if I go buy this other thing, I could be up a lot again on the other thing. And I think the other thing is moving on its own. It's not waiting for external forces to move it. And that is a problem. Whenever you buy a coin that has to rely on external forces, that could very much well be a problem. So for me, am I still holding on to my bag of Trump? Yeah. I don't mind. It's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. And I think down the road, when everybody's forgotten about it, I think down the road, it'll pop again. And everybody will be like, oh, I wish I'd held on to that. If it doesn't work out in 4 years, okay. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be mad because, I'll be making money in other places. So I bought I already made some money off of Trump. So I was like, well, I'll leave some of that money that I made. I'll just leave that in there. That's why I really don't care. Whatever money is left, it's free money. It's free money. So yeah, when I dropped Doge, I was like, oh yeah, I was really, really up, and I was like, okay, I can split it into these and I can rebalance my portfolio. It's perfect timing. Boom, off to the races. Let me go do that. That's why. And XLM was one of the things that I bought. It was absolutely one of the things I bought. At the last minute, Cardano was another one that I bought, even though I'm like heavy on Cardano. Question is, so like, why? Cardano's going to do things. Cardano is going to do things. When I look at everybody and everybody says, oh, there's going to be one coin that, there's not going to be one coin that everybody's going to use. There's several different coins that do several different things, and it'll be those coins that will survive. Cardano, I think, is going to be one of those coins that people are just going to use. Fast, resilient, secure. Just saying. Don't have to worry about network outages. Decentralized out the yin of the yang. Like, seriously, I crack up about it. It's mad decentralized. I love Cardano. There are certain coins that I absolutely just love for different reasons. Some I love because I think they're going to be highly transactional, like Cardano. I think there's a feeling that it might become a platform to build on, but I think it's going to be highly transactional, right? Because it's fast. I think it's cash register fast, right? I mean, I had a problem the other day, but that never happens. That's why I reached out to one of my big baggers and I was like, has this ever happened to you? Has never happened to me before. And he was like, oh, I've never seen that. It's usually like, it's cash register fast. It's fast enough. And I'm like, oh, that could be some stuff right there. That's why I like Cardano. I like Chainlink for obvious reasons. World's #1 Oracle for a reason. For a reason. Could they stand to upgrade their tech? Yeah. They could do that. I think they make enough money where they could take the time to do that. Or like Mr. Big says, go buy Pith. I don't think that'll happen, but imagine if you had the tech that Pith had or has with the data and everything else that's going on with Chainlink. Tell me that's not like, that's like a crypto wet dream. For me, that's a crypto wet dream. That's insane. Big Bagger Iagon is on our list. Yep. I started an Iagon node. We can ooh. Noted. Noted. You got him to talk about it. The persistence paid off. Perspicacious. Ham's house, go stand in the corner. I don't like either one of you. Hutanic, you go with him. I don't like either one of you now. I traded Doge at 40 for XRP at 80. Oh, so that was a while ago. That wasn't recent because XRP is nowhere near 80. Like, when was the last time that combination happened where you're at 40 and 80? That had to be a while ago. That had to be a while ago. I'm talking about recently, like week and a half ago. That's what I did. Yeah, last year. That's what I thought. I just stack XRP, man. I just stack XRP like, like Bitcoin, Cardano, XRP, Chainlink. There are a few of them, but those are a few that I just, without a thought, not a problem. I will dump into those. Had to be before December, I think. I think it had to be. Yeah, I got some IAG because of one of you people. One of our big baggers came up with the idea of, oh, you should do IAG, man. So I did it. Another one said, oh, you should do Peak, man. So I did it. Happy about both of them, I'll tell you that. FEO Boss, what's good? So yeah, I mean, when I look at the news today, right, there are ETFs out there that are just going nuts. And you're just kind of like, meme ETFs, no value whatsoever. What does that do, right? They don't do anything. Meme coins don't do jack except have a cool name, cool logo or whatever. What does Doge do? Gets traded a lot. I mean, I guess. FEO Boss, thank you. Thank you. I'm blessed. Thank you. Nope, not talking about IAG. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But when you look at some of these, you're gonna start an ETF on a meme. You're gonna start an ETF on a meme that came out a couple of weeks ago. Let that one roll around in your head. Somebody's thinking about doing an ETF. Did do an ETF filing for Melania and Trump. What do? Let's open up extra avenues where people can just dump money into a bucket. I just can't. JPO, what's going on? Soul Rich, what's good? So yeah, I have an issue with, nonsense. Just because an ETF is created, it doesn't mean that you need to be involved in that ETF. Forget about memes, right? Let's talk stocks. You go look at an ETF and they tell you what they have in that ETF. They might not tell you the weight, but they'll tell you what they have in that ETF. Sometimes you can actually find the weight. Cool. Excuse me. Cool. So you know what's going on in that ETF. You know what's in there. That's awesome. However, those stocks, you can actually go research those companies and go see what's going on and all that other good stuff. They do something. Those are real companies that are doing something. A meme. I'm going to create an ETF for the Trump coin, the official Trump coin, and Melania. Are you kidding me? Why? Oh, because there are people out there that will actually get involved. Because if it's carried by this company, adding the weight of their name, then it must be real. So I will attract a whole bunch of people that might not go out and buy crypto, but they'll go out and buy this ETF because they're handling all that crypto stuff for me. And then when it takes a nosedive, not if, but when. I mean, there is a chance. I'm holding on to my bag, to what's left in that bag. Why? Because there's a chance that it could go up. I still think that you could literally see, the Trump coin go to $100. for various reasons. For various reasons. I think there's going to be somebody out there that's going to pay attention to the percentage held by that one wallet. 80%. Somebody's going to be paying attention to that. Zach XBT, Chainalysis. Name one. Name one of the researchers that are out there. One of those crypto sleuths. Name one. They're probably going to pay attention to what's going on with it. That's going to be interesting. That will be probably wildly interesting. So just saying, I am definitely paying attention to it. Because if it starts to go down, that'll send waves. I think it'll send waves. It'll hit the news wires, and then maybe we get a bump up because somebody decided to buy, and then you're going to be wondering, how much did they buy? How did they buy? Did they buy to move the market up and then dump more in? Value, right? Grow, fake the funk, right? Highly possible. There's a lot of stuff that happens there, and I'm just like, and Lieutenant, just stupid. Stupid. What's the GMB 3? Do your own research, know your entries and exits, invest deliberately. If you're going to invest in an ETF, whether it be for digital assets or traditional assets, do your own research, please. Pay attention. Don't slip. Don't slip up and, just go do something on a whim. Don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. And don't play with money that you can't lose. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Let's talk about Chainlink. You meant Cardano. Yeah, I'm going to bust your chops over that. And Polkadot ETF. A Chainlink ETF. That's a stupid idea. A Cardano ETF. Another stupid idea. A Polkadot ETF. A really stupid idea. Now ask me, why do I think so? I would rather see an ETF that has a bag of coins, right? And a reason for that bag of coins. I do not want to see a single coin ETF. I don't want to see that. I really, 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 really don't want to see that. Right? Because as the public gets smarter, I can go buy my own ETF. Now, putting together a bag of digital assets and creating an ETF out of that, and you're going to have a weighting to how you're buying those particular coins. Oh, now that's interesting to me. Because how did you come to that mix? How did you come up with that weight? Right? There's going to be a weighting to each of those coins within that ETF. That's interesting. That means somebody is giving it thought on a regular basis as to what should be in that ETF. Right? I mean, think about the list of coins that the big baggers have. No, I'm not going to say the coin list right now. Just not going to do it. Because it's only for the big baggers. You got to be a big bagger to know about that list. Period. If you want to become a big bagger and you want to get that list, become a big bagger. Go to growmybag.tv/sign-up. Become a big bagger. Participate in our monthly private video conference calls where we talk about this stuff almost ad infinitum, and you'll get that list that we're tracking. But imagine that as an ETF. I think I just heard Lieutenant go, ooh, that's interesting. I think Rick Ritchie might have done the same thing. Imagine that as an ETF. Because how do you create an ETF on a regular basis? How do you create an ETF? You make a conscious decision as to what should be in the ETF. You make a case as to why something should be in the ETF or the index. Jared Chamberlain, what's going on? So you start to sit back and you kind of go, huh. So for each one of those coins, a case was made. Case was made, right? I mean, there are some obvious coins on the list, right? That we could all just kind of go, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. But most of them had a reason. Research was done. The case was brought to the floor. It was debated. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. But if you have a single ETF, now Stitch is here. Now he's here. There's my big boy. Yeah. So that's how you do it. Go ahead, go lay down. Good boy. No, go ahead, go lay down. Go lay down. He's got that sad face on. I wish I could move my camera, but I can't. He's like, I don't know what to do. Oh, he's going to go upstairs to his bed. Okay. Until my daughter comes back and he'll go get on his real bed. But yeah, I mean, when I start to think about, I don't know what that is, Hutanic, and I'm not going to mention it until you come. If it's a coin or whatever, I think you need to do what the rule is. You know what the rule is. But yeah, single asset ETFs, I think, are stupid. Dumb as dirt. But if you had an ETF, going back to the original question, instead of each one separate, if you had an ETF that had Chainlink, Cardano, and Polkadot, I could debate Polkadot. Because I probably want to replace Polkadot with a Ton coin or a SUI. Actually, I'd want to replace it with a Ton coin or even an Avalanche. I'd add SUI to that pot. No, he's gonna go hang out on the couch. There he is. Right? Yeah, go on. Oh, now, okay. Took me a minute. Not going to talk about it. But yeah, because you have this habit of giving a little bit. You give a little bit of a sentence and everybody's just supposed to fill it in. No, you got to give us the whole thing, because I'm not gonna pick up on that. I have a lot of stuff in my book, and I had one on my desk. Oh, snap. I literally had one on my desk. I think one of my kids might have snatched the book. I have another one, but I had another one on the desk. But yeah, you'd want to see, I don't want to see Trump, Doge, Bonk, Melania. I don't want to see those. I want to see somebody give thought to Chainlink, Polkadot, Cardano. Yep. Yeah, but you're also still giving half a thought. What do you mean? You just made it. You're not making a statement. What's the statement that you're trying to make? No, I'm not trying to be a hard ass. VJ, what's good? VJ, tonight's question: do you think Doge hodlers are being strung along by that guy? You know, I call him Muskrat. We've got 10 votes so far. I thought for sure this would get more votes. We have yes, no, maybe, other. I shouldn't have put maybe in there. Hey, Michelle B8 or Michelle Bait. I'm just going to call you Michelle. I think I said that the last time. It's dark back here in this room with the keyboard. Turn on the lights, man. I know you paid the bill. I know you paid. Where's patient one? Would I start an ETF with American L1s? No. Would I start an index? Sure. An ETF? And I don't mean an index fund. I just mean start an index that would track them. But I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Right? I mean, we could now because of what's going on. Anything that's, made in the USA is going to get looked at harder. I thought Doge was US based. I could have sworn Doge is US based. So I'm kind of sitting back and I'm kind of going, so Doge is just getting dissed? And what does Move do that the other coins ahead of it don't do? I mean, and Ripple? Ripple's got 2 reasons why you want to talk to them, right? One of them is XRP. Well, let me say it properly. One of them is XRPL, and the other one is RLUSD. Those are the two biggest reasons why, you pay attention to that. But what I do an ETF based on American L1s. It's not I wouldn't, but I could see why somebody would want to. I could see why somebody would want to. I could say that. I wouldn't want to, but I could see why somebody would. Because I just think that there's way too much overlap with a few of them. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of on the fence with that one. I don't know the difference, but that would be the only way I would consider an ETF. I'd have to see what the mix is, what's in that bag. Like I said, if I was going to create, one of those safe ETFs, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Chainlink. You could easily go through and say, I'm going to pick out the best one from each sector, right? Or the best 1 or 2 from each sector, and I'd weight it in a certain way based on the sector and the coin, da-da-da-da-da. I could definitely see that, right? But would I base it on... For principle alone, I wouldn't create an American L1 ETF. For principle alone. I need it to be global. I need it to be not controlled by a country. And that screams to me, not decentralized, controlled by a country. It just gives me a bad feeling. Mathematically, how it actually works, probably not. But for me, it just gives me a really bad feeling. So I wouldn't want to name something like that. And I wouldn't want to do something like that. Would I have probably the bulk of them in an ETF along with other things? Sure. But something specialized like that, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Because I mean, there are probably a couple of them that you would just look at and just kind of go, yeah, you're American, but I don't know that you actually make the cut. You know what I mean? Not all of them make the cut, right? And if we're in it to make money, you either make the cut or you don't. And there are L1s out there that don't make the cut, period. So yeah, that's something I would think about. Rookster, what's good? So yeah. So yeah, I look at that and I'm kind of like, The first meme coin created using was at least Yeah, I absolutely don't care about that. Wow. Max Salas, thank you for that news, but I'll announce it because maybe other people might be interested. So I'll say it because I know you're dropping it as news. The first meme coin created using Neuralink was released 8 minutes ago. It's called NCAT. I'd have to go. Is it on pump.fun? Where'd they release it? Give us more information. And Hutanic said it should be called Oh Shit. OSHIT. That's nice. Go stand in the corner. But why ETF when there's blockchains? Are you asking me why I would put together an index made up of those ETFs? I would absolutely put together an ETF for, a mix of digital assets. Yeah, Phantom is a Solana wallet. Yeah, so it's created with Pump.Fun. Yeah, I'm not touching it. Soul Rich, what's going on? Like Floki, gaming tokens. Yeah, like you'd pick out what you like and you'd figure out what it is. A reason why I'd be interested in an ETF like that, not me personally, but why I would be interested for other people that don't have the knowledge, background, experience in digital assets is because that's why you buy an ETF, because you don't know, you don't have the time to do all the research in all of those stocks. And in this case, all of those cryptos that would get you there. That's why. Right? Somebody had to sit down and think about how are we doing that? Right? How does that work? You know what I mean? And so now I'm sitting there, I'm kind of going, yeah, I could see that happening. But I'm not a big person on I would say regionalizing as a concept. I don't want to regionalize a coin or a bag of assets. Right? If you want to track that on your own, go ahead and track it on your own. There are 50 million places where you could track it. That's great. Go do that. Create an ETF, no. But to have somebody sit down and actually say, in this particular digital asset ETF, we're going to have Render, Chainlink, let's say FET, a couple of D pins up in there. Oh, okay. A couple of DeFis like Aave. We're gonna throw those in the mix. Oh, now that would be interesting because you're giving me a broad breadth of what could go in on there, and that would be interesting to me because not only are you picking from different areas of Web3, but you're also picking up on what's big, what's not big. And you're giving thought to what's going to have a longer reach, right? So AI is going to have a really long reach. D-pins, oh my God, everything depends on D-pins. So of course you're going to have a long reach on that. Anything that has a development platform, DeFi, everything that people, because you're kind of thinking about it, that kind of ETF that I just named to you is going to have a reach because those are build upon assets. Those are build upon, transact upon assets. That to me is interesting. And selling that as an ETF to somebody who doesn't understand crypto to the level that some of us understand crypto, that would be a great package. I'd love to see that. Love to see that. That's different than, let's just come out with a Doge ETF. Gives me a freaking headache. That's a great idea. Wonder how long it will take to get there, but most coins are crap. You don't even have to get all that mathematical with it to figure out that most coins are crap. There are millions of coins out there. People forget. There are millions of coins out there. Gone and forgotten. Projects people walked away from. That's why when I tell you guys to do your own research, if you're going to be involved in a coin, you're going to be looking at a coin, Didn't Ondo do a deal with somebody today? Yeah, it was XRP. That's right. But so why do I care about Ondo? Just saying, that's XRP. Ondo's going to bring XRP money. Thanks. But I digress. So when I look at things out there, I'm just like, some things make me happy, and some things make me sad, some things make me angry or mad. I know, it's a cute little rhyme. I get it. I mean, if I could hit a button and my junk turns 19 years old, I don't even get that. I don't even understand the reference. Ondo partner with XRP. Yep, that was a big deal. But like I said, I think Ondo is going to bring XRP money. I think that's a better deal for XRP as a coin than it is for Ondo Finance. And I'm still happy I didn't get involved with Ondo. I forgot what it was that I bought instead of Ondo. It's the last minute thing. I forgot what I bought. Doesn't matter because it's sitting in the bag. Right? And that would tell me I'm not going to buy Ondo because that's not going to be the only deal. I'm going to go buy XRP. And was it XRP? They cut a deal with Ripple, and it's a deal with Ripple because of XRPL, or are they going to use XRP as gas? Big difference. I would need to know. There are deals that are going to be cut by Ripple, right? That are going to be reliant upon RLUSD and or XRPL, the XRP ledger, not XRP. And if they go public, that would be a reason to buy Ripple stock as opposed to buying XRP. They're separate, distinctly different things. But Ripple is firing on all cylinders, and they really are giving you a reason that once they go IPO, that you would buy the stock, right? Like I would buy the stock and be happy to hold XRP. RLUSD has a long way to go before I would even think about trying to use it in transactions because one, I don't need to. There's Tether, and Tether's connected to everything. So an ETF on, I don't even know what that means. An ETF on older ETFs. I don't know what that means. You're going to have to help me out with that one. Paul, that's what I thought. I think it's XRP as gas. So it's what's the deal? Are you going to be traveling across XRPL? And because you're traveling across XRPL, right, XRP is gas? Again, you're just bringing money to XRP, right? XRP, you're going to drive that coin up, and you're just bringing money over to Ripple because you're using XRPL. Boom, because they own XRPL. XRP is its own entity running on top of. So yeah, I would think about that, and I'd be like, oh, thank you for bringing that extra money. And it won't be the only one that's there that's doing that. The question I would have is, so what are the gas fees like? Because what you're looking at right now is XRPL becoming like Ethereum or ETH, or which one is the blockchain and which is the coin? ETH is the coin and Ethereum is the blockchain, right? Where everything sitting on there uses ETH. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Ethereum is the blockchain. ETH is the coin traveling on top of the blockchain that everybody uses as gas. There you go. So do you see how again, I'll point out XRP had surpassed Bitcoin at one point. Can it surpass Ethereum? I think so. I think it can. It doesn't mean it will, but I think it can. Right? It's got a long way to go to catch up, but highly possible. But I think Ondo is just like the name in that article. When I read it, the big name in that article was Ripple. Ondo Finance cuts deal with Ripple. Thank you for bringing the money. I appreciate you. Thank you. Go away now. I'm wondering how many other projects are going to do that. I mean, look what's going on with Toncoin. You want to do anything on Telegram, you have to use Ton. Wow. That is actually going to work out. That is actually going to work out well. It's kind of why I like Toncoin. Sui doesn't have that kind of thing, but Sui came from nowhere and has made it into the top 25. I'm telling you, as time goes on, you're going to see that it's going to be harder and harder and harder for coins to break into that top 25 rank. It's going to become mad hard to break into that top 25. All of the coins in the top 25 are solid coins. I mean, I hate to admit it, but Tron gets used all the time. You cannot say that it's not a solid coin. Just because I don't trust it, I can't, just wag a finger at its game. It's a solid coin. Can it be bumped out? Yeah, and there are a few coins coming along that could bump it out. But it's going to take more. And the reason why I say so is because Justin Sun is very gimmicky. And so he knows how to, play the media. But it's going to take real coins to bump Tron out. But the same way I'm saying bump Tron out is the same way that I'm saying you're going to see Solana get bumped out of the top 10. When things really get swimming after tomorrow's hard fork for Cardano, I think you're going to start to see build on Cardano just start to tick up. And as that ticks up, more coin usage, more value to the coin. And you've just got coins coming along saying, hey, we see you. We see you, Solana. Bye-bye. Out of the top 10. It's not going to be hard to knock Cardano. I mean, to knock, whatchamacallit, let's see, it's at number 5 right now. Just bunny hopped BNB chain. But BNB chain will come back because it's got more solid dApps on BNB chain. There might be more development on Solana than other platforms, but Solana's got BS development, whereas these other platforms like Ethereum, like BNB chain, they've got real development. And I think the same thing is going to happen with Cardano. And Cardano is really not all that far away from Doge. I think if Cardano bunny hops Doge, you got $14 billion right now between them. If Cardano bunny hops Doge is going to have a hard time staying in the top 10. It really does. I mean, Chainlink is number 12. Who'd have thought? Chainlink had been in the teens for a long time. It's at number 12 now. That's a no-joke situation. A no-joke situation. At $10 billion market value, it's hard to move the price. I don't know what that means. Price to stability. I don't know what that means. Ledger super low gas fees. What do you mean Ledger? You mean XRP Ledger? Mr. Big, what's going on? What's good? I keep forgetting you work late. My bad, man. I get up early, so I can only stay up for so long. $10 billion market value. Who's at $10 billion? Who are you talking about at $10 billion? The only one at $10 billion is Shiba Inu. Is that 10 billy? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know that it's going to be that late, man. I don't know that it's going to be that late. And I have logic for that. I'm not just spewing it out there. I think that just give me a minute, man. Don't go to sleep yet. Wuss. Stay up for a second. I think that Cardano could actually do it before that time. And the reason why is because once that hard fork hits, you've got a brand new development environment. I think there are a lot of people that have pent up energy to build on top of Cardano. And I think dApp development is going to just start to skyrocket on Cardano. I think it'll be gradual at first, people dipping their toe in, seeing how this is, seeing how that is. But I think real dApp development is going to start happening on Cardano. And then something else that I've been thinking about for a while, Cardano really does lend itself to tokenization. And the reason why is because of the speed of the network and the resilience of the network. Cardano could lend itself very easily to corporate level or enterprise level development. That's big. That's not small. That's not small. Now you can go to sleep. now you can go to bed. But yeah, there are a lot of interesting things that are going on right now that I'm looking at, and I'm kind of like, wow, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. Anyway, let's do the poll because it's time to go relax. Do you think Doge holders are being strung along by that guy? You all know I call him Muskrat. Yes is 42%. No is 8%. Maybe is 42%. Wow. And other is 8%. Interesting. And that was based on 12 votes. I like having an odd number for votes because that way there's usually no tie. Ann is a yes. Coach is a yes. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, a lot of us think that they're just being led along because that's just how are they not? Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, smash the likes. Absolutely smash the likes. Tell your friends about this community and what we're doing. All right. Not only that the circulating supply is 80% and BTC is 92%, it's going to have a supply crunch. Yeah. Hadn't thought about that. Dang. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Anyway, smash the likes, tell your friends to come up, and don't forget, join as a big bagger. Join in on the next big bagger video conference call that happens Super Bowl Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for your trust.